There's the interaction I was looking for. Yes, the legendary beast and Ho-Oh had that special interaction when you're in the burnt tower, as I pick up the TM for Overheat. Pretty fitting place for it to be at. Okay, now I'm going to use Dig to get out of here since it's a lot quicker that way. I actually had no idea you could use Dig in the burnt tower until I recently found out about it. So now I'm going to go to the Dark Cave since there is a Strength Boulder there. However, I'm going to have to bench one of my team members since I need Flash to get through there. So I'm going to bench Miss Matches for a bit since I don't really need it right now. So the Dark Cave leads to an uppermost portion of Route 46. We were there in that route in the beginning of the game, but we couldn't do anything at all. But now, we get to explore that place a little bit more. However, I have to go through the Dark Cave twice since there's a fork in the road, which means I have to go through there again just to get back to that area of Route 46. Yeah, it is kind of a hassle, but what can you do? Anyway, in the news today, we got another Tyree Battle event in Scarlet and Violet, which features the mighty Annihilape. That event started on the 14th and ends today on the 20th. So its ability is Defiant, its chart type is Ghost, its nature is Adamant, and knows the moves Rage Fist, Close Combat, Ice Punch, and Thunder Punch. And its additional moves Earthquake, Rock Slide, and Bulldoze. Oh boy, this one was a bitch to handle, and I think you know why. Anyway, here are 3 Pokemon you could use to take down that Psycho Monkey. Farigiraf, Bombardier, and Toucannon. So for Farigiraf, its ability doesn't matter as long as it's not Sap Sipper. Its chart type doesn't matter since you're not Trash Slicing in this battle. Its nature was Bold, its type item was the Shell Bell, and I gave the moves Skill Swap, Nasty Plot, Curse, and Stored Power. You're gonna need an Intimidator for this one. Yes, you heard me. I know it sounds ridiculous, but hear me out. So first use Skill Swap to take Defiant away from Annihilape so that way it will lose attack every time the Intimidator respawns. Next use Curse 3 times. Use a heal cheer if you need to heal, hopefully you get enough HP back. Then use Nasty Plot 3 times. Then spam Stored Power until your stats reset. Use Curse twice, Nasty Plot twice, then continue Stored Power until Annihilape goes down. I will admit, I got really lucky when I fought that Annihilape because on separate occasions, I survived with 1 HP, all thanks to my defense boost. And speaking of defense, you'll want to take advantage of those defense drops when Annihilape uses close combat, so that way your attacks will do more damage. I mean, Annihilape was mainly used in close combat since it can't go for Rage Fist. Yeah, that's why I used Farigiraf since it's immune to Rage Fist. I wasn't even worried about close combat at all. Rage Fist was my main problem, knowing how much damage you'll do if Annihilape takes a lot of hits. Yeah, I know from experience. Such as that one side quest from the DLC of Legend CA, but I'll talk more about that later. Now, if you don't care about getting hit with Rage Fist, try Bombardier. So, its nature was Impish, its health item was the Expert Belt, and I gave the moves Power Trip, Curse, and Roost. For this one, you absolutely, positively, cannot have any allies with Pokemon that have abilities or moves that could lower stats, otherwise, there's no way you're catching that Annihilape. Okay, so use Curse 6 times, Roost if you need to heal, then spam Power Trip until Annihilape goes down. Yep, that's it. That's all you have to do. I made that monkey my bitch. Although, this might take you a few tries since the battle might not go your way. And lastly, if you want a way to lower Annihilape's attack without stat-lowering moves, try Toucannon. Its chart type was Stellar, its nature was Impish, its type item was the Shell Bell, and I gave the moves Terror Blast, Beak Blast, Sword Stance, and Roost. Once again, no allied Pokemon with moves or abilities that involve lowering stats. So first use Beak Blast so that way Annihilape gets burned, then Sword Stance, then Roost, Beak Blast, Roost, Sword Stance, Roost, Sword Stance, Beak Blast, Trash Size, spam Terror Blast until your stats reset, Sword Stance again, then continue Terror Blast until Annihilape goes down. Yeah, I know, that was a lot to take in. It took me a few tries, but I eventually managed to do it, just barely, since the timer was at 0 already. And oddly enough, it used Rage Fist on my Toucannon. I don't know why, since I specifically chose to use Toucannon so that way I wouldn't have to deal with Rage Fist. And for some reason, Annihilape almost never used Ice or Thunder Punch. It did use one of those moves during one of my attempts, admittedly, but during my other attempts, it didn't use those 2 moves at all. Yeah, I don't get it either. Now, about that one side quest in the DLC of Legend ZA that I was alluding to, it involves someone losing their Annihilape in Wild Zone 6 when you find it. Yeah, you have to fight it. It was at level 99, and it was an alpha too. Yeah, that thing almost destroyed my team with Rage Fist. I don't recall how I managed to defeat that thing. I probably revived some of my Pokemon, probably Xerneas or Yveltal, but eventually I managed to make out. I managed to make it out of that battle alive. Okay, is there anything above here? Because yeah, there was a split pathway, so yeah, maybe I could go here in case I missed something. Oh, what do we have here? Or arrive? Okay, I'll be sure to put that to good use. Okay, anything? Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, hopefully no more random encounters. Okay, there we go. Okay, to the left here we have a few apricorns. Well, even though I don't have any use for these apricorns, I'm just going to pick them up because, hey, why not? Okay, now before I continue, I believe there's something over to the right, and that is actually Route 45. However, I can't really explore much of that place right now because the only way you could fully explore Route 45 is if you enter that place from Blackthorn City, which we won't be going to for quite some time. Okay, is there anything here that I could do? Nothing? Okay, for a second I thought I was going to be able to pick up that apricorn that I saw there, but it looks like I can't. Well, whatever. Okay, there's rock climb up a wall here. I have to make a mental note to come back here once I get rock climb, which will happen for quite some time. Okay, here's that fork in the road that I was talking about. Okay, I'm just going to take the left path so that way I can fight these two trainers in a double battle. Okay, yeah, I'll just leave my champ in the lead. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I just wanted to trigger the double battle. Now, I don't know if people are struggling with those Rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon in the DLC of Legend ZA. If so, then there is a way to defeat them in almost no time at all, and it involves Annihilape. So here's how you do it. Teach your Annihilape these moves: Screech, Focus Energy, Bulk Up, and Rage Fist. Let it hold the Scope Lens, then get a Gourgeist and teach it the move Trick or Treat, which will add the Ghost type to the targeted Pokemon. So when finding those Rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon, use Trick or Treat first, then switch to Annihilape. Use Screech, then Focus Energy, then Bulk Up, then check your Mega Meter to see if you have enough power to turn Rage Fist into a plus move. If so, then fire away. Although, you may want to take a little bit of damage to ensure that a plus Rage Fist will do a lot of damage. After that, keep spamming plus Rage Fist as much as you can until the Rogue Mega Pokemon goes down. Yep, I dominated Kyogre, Rayquaza, and Zero Aura that way. But for Groudon, well, admittedly, I didn't discover about that whole trick with the Annihilape until after I found out about it. Okay, that didn't make a whole lot of sense. Here, let me try that again. I didn't find out about that trick with the Annihilape until after I defeated Groudon. Yeah, that's the way to put it. So yeah, as of right now, I'm dominating all those Mega Evolved Pokemon with Annihilape and even Gourgeist as well. Well, actually, Annihilape is doing all the work since, yeah, Rage Fist, yeah, does a whole number on those Rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon. Yeah, admittedly, I did struggle with those Rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon, but now that I have Annihilape, yeah, I don't struggle with those Pokemon at all. Okay, this girl here, the picnic girl, she, gave me her phone number. Well, yeah, I have to go to the Dark Cave again so that way I could fight her. Well, actually, maybe now since, later on I am going to be able to fly to Blackthorn so that way I could maybe come back here, but that's not going to happen for quite some time. Okay, there's nothing else of interest here, so if you'll excuse me, I'm going to make my way back over here so that way I can fight that other trainer that I saw on the pathway below here, so if you'll just give me a second, I'll be right back. Okay, here we are again, and Lantern is in the lead since I remember what this guy has. A team of 5 Geodudes. So I might as well have Lantern get in on the action. Now, right before I paused, I said that I dominated Kyogre, Rayquaza, and Zero Aura with my Annihilape. However, admittedly, I had quite a few attempts to fight that Rayquaza, because it kept attacking me directly. Yes, wild Pokemon can either attack your Pokemon or you directly. And it looks like I took one too many hits from Rayquaza. But eventually I managed to get it, even though using a fighting type against something like Rayquaza isn't a very good idea, but I had to, since Annihilape does loads of damage with Rage Fist after taking a lot of hits. Now back to that mighty Annihilape. That had to be one of the hardest 7-star Pokemon I ever fought. I think I said a while ago that mighty Hisuian Samurai was pretty hard, but looks like that mighty Annihilape was even harder. It forced me to use certain Pokemon that I don't really use. Also, I was forced to reset so many times so that way my partners had Pokemon that couldn't lower stats. I was doing that for about 1 to 2 hours when I decided to use Bombardier and Toucan to fight that Annihilape. So as you can imagine, I went through so much shit just to fight off that Annihilape. Aqua Ring? Well, no thanks, because Water Absorb does the job for me. So yeah, I'm going to pass on Aqua Ring. So hopefully the next 7-star Pokemon doesn't force me to reset over and over, just to have partners that won't trigger abilities. I think the next one is either King Gambit or Farigiraf. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that myself, since I think there was an article on Therapy about that, although it's gone now, so yeah, I'm not really sure which one of those two is coming up next. Well, whatever it is, hopefully I have an easy time with it, since yeah, that Annihilape, that one was pretty hard to deal with. Yeah, I can see why Annihilape is pretty uber, since, yeah, Rage Fist does a hell of a lot of damage to certain Pokemon. Especially when it comes to handling those Rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon. Although I will admit, sometimes I kind of run into trouble when taking on those Rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon, because I guess maybe I get hit one too many times, and by that I mean me directly. Okay, next destination is Zelia Town, since there's a Strength Boulder rather, in the Slowpoke Well. Yeah, some of those Rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon are kind of tricky to fight, such as, let's see, there's that Rogue Mega Meowstic. What else? Rogue Mega Bayonet. Um, oh yeah, I think also Rogue Mega Absol Z. Yeah, that was pretty tricky to fight as well. Okay, I don't need Wooper anymore, so I'm going to put Miss Magic back in my party. Also, I might as well heal, since yeah, I did run into quite a few wild Pokemon while I make my way back to Route 46, and yeah, I just want to be sure that Entei is in tip-top shape. What else? I guess that's it. Yeah, I guess those 3 Rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon that I mentioned, yeah, they were pretty tricky to fight. Especially that Rogue Mega Meowstic, because they put up that barrier, and yeah, I did try breaking that barrier, although the only offensive move I had on Annihilape was Rage Fist, because, well, you know. So yeah, naturally, yeah, I had to retreat, so that way I won't take a whole lot of damage from that special attack that those Rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon usually do. Oh hey, look who's here, Cameron the Photographer. In a place like this, of all places. Yeah, sure, why not? Smile. There we go. So yeah, using Annihilape to fight off those Rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon, sometimes it goes good for me, sometimes it doesn't. Oh yeah, I believe it's also that Rogue Mega Barbacle, since yeah, that special attack it usually does, I think it involves hitting me so many times directly. Yeah, sometimes I fault that thing. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get away from that thing, because yeah, it keeps on following you when it does that special attack. So yeah, immediately, even though Annihilape is a pretty good Pokemon to use to fight off those Rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon, just be sure that those things don't hit you directly so many times to the point where you collapse, and you'll have to start over again. Since yeah, if you lose in the Rogue Mega Evolved, no wait, when you lose when it comes to taking on those Rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon, then you're gonna have to go in there and no, you have to make another donut, so that way you can go back in there and take on that Rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon again. Well, luckily for me, that didn't happen, since I saved before entering those hyperspace holes, or whatever they're called. So that way I won't have to use up so many berries just to make so many donuts. Okay, I believe there's supposed to be a hidden item over to the right of that ladder before I go down there. So yeah, I'm just gonna grab that real quick. Hopefully I can get it. Okay, I believe there's supposed to be somewhere over here. Alright, where is it? Oh, come on, really? You know what? Maybe I should run away from this thing, since I don't think I have a whole lot of time left to fight, so I'm just going to run away from this Bronzer. Okay, where's that hidden item? Okay, it's over here. There we go. So yeah, looks like we're still going around Johto pushing around Strength Boulders. So next time, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So, see you next time.